party of the is not the party of the National Health Service that you would like to think. Labour introduced PFIs and also introduced outrageous targets, which were far too high to reach. The problem with targets is that they pressurise NHS staff, and rather than reaching targets, they actually fall well behind Labour's targets of waiting times, etc. And Labour claim to be the party of the National Health Service. Yet, if you look across the border in Wales, scrolling in the Mail online, it says that Welsh patients in mass exodus to England, as Labour blocks a national inquiry into crisis hit Welsh NHS, thousands cross border for life-saving treatment. Now, obviously with devolution, the Labour government in Wales has almost all control of affairs, and Labour love to spend money, but they spend too much money and they basically run out of money. And what's happened, I believe, is that the Labour government in Wales has run out of money on the NHS and it can't afford more. The government won't give it any more because they just spent a lot. And one woman trapped in labour travelled 55 miles to avoid birth in Welsh hospital. Chiefs cancelled visit by international OECD group at very short notice. Figures come out on day 2 of Daily Mail series on Labour-run Welsh NHS. Nearly 4 times many Welsh patients cross over as English ones do. Number of cancer refugees quadrupled in a decade to 15,450 last year. So people with terminally ill cancer in Wales would rather be treated in England than in Wales. And this is what Labour is all about. I suspect that the Welsh NHS is hit with mountains or targets. Now, they can't blame the staff. The staff are only doing their job. But it's how Labour are running the National Health Service in Wales, which is the problem. I think Welsh nurses, doctors, surgeons, they most likely do a fantastic job. And they work very hard. I mean, if you ever saw what a nurse had to go through, day after day after day, treating wounds, cleaning up sick, caring for people, caring for patients who are in palliative care. Being a nurse is very emotional. You got really close interaction. But the thing is that it's spoiled by the bosses at the top and by Labour, who are obsessed with targets, they're obsessed with spending money. And the thing is that if you spend too much money in one go, Labour runs out of money. Guess what happens? What Labour will probably do is raise taxes for the Welsh people, and even if Labour does raise taxes to save the Welsh NHS, it won't do. And UKIP are on the rise in Wales, and UKIP will improve the Welsh NHS. UKIP does not believe in privatising NHS, and UKIP does not believe in Labour's PFIs for NHS hospitals. And the Labour leader admitted that came in with a whisker to lives in Hayward and Milton, and he claimed that the people voted for Labour and they voted for the NHS. So Mr Cameron is using, Ed Miliband's election stall as won't be about immigration. It won't be about the European Union referendum. It will be about the National Health Service. Where if he wants to bang on about the National Health Service how Labour can deliver, etc. Look across the border and see how the people are suffering as evidence of Labour. And Labour will probably blame the coalition for, Labour government in Wales will probably blame the coalition for not giving it enough money. Yet why should English taxpayers pay for the Welsh NHS? The Welsh NHS should be paid for by the Welsh people. But it's about how Labour runs the Welsh NHS. And it probably runs it through socialist targets, Orwellian system. I can see now, being run with targets, quangos, pen pushers, make sure all targets are set. Targets. Let's get back to getting the job done and completed.